on me. But look to the left, ladies and gentlemen, as we see your United States Navy's A-18C Hornet. He'll taxi down, but look to the right in the high-speed pass. Your United States Navy's A-18C Hornet. Look at the climb rate. The Hornet is now extending away from the airfield to set up for the high-speed pass. Half roll, invented by comes by the show center. Now watch him do back down, descend straight down toward the runway here at NAS Oceana. Watch him with a half a roll on the way down, a full 3/4 of a roll on the way down, and he'll pull out into the back course. Now, two-pack is now going to set up for what we call the minimum radius turn to demonstrate the extremely tight turning radius of the A-18C Hornet. As he approaches from the left, he will then execute a sharp 90-degree bank and pull hard on the stick, subjecting his body to 7.5 times the pull of gravity and do a minimum radius turn in a very, very tight space. Let's watch as we see the Hornet. Minimum radius. That all Navy aircraft must possess is the ability to land on an aircraft carrier at sea with a moving and sometimes pitching carrier deck. Navy and Marine pilots are trained to hit the landing area with pinpoint accuracy in what is not so much of a landing as it is a controlled crash. He will approach from the right at 175 miles an hour. The pilot will fly a descending turn to a 3/4 mile final approach point. This speed allows only about 15 seconds to precisely adjust the flight path in order to touch down in an area not much larger than your driveway. Notice that as the Hornet approaches from the right, you will see the landing gear, and tail hook extended. It is the tail hook which catches one of four about 2-inch in diameter steel cables stretched across the flight deck. Now I'm going to turn the music down here so you can hear him as he works the throttle. We'll hear this again a little bit later on in the demonstration. As he approaches show center, he's going to shove the throttle all the way over the front of the tail. Here he goes. Show center at about 300 miles per hour. He will demonstrate the superb nose authority and ability of the F-18 to point at an adversary aircraft. In a very short space, you'll see the Hornet change direction from horizontal flight to straight up. It's this ability combined with an awesome arsenal of air-to-air weapons that make the F-18 a world-class fighter that's feared worldwide. Watch him as he pulls back hard on the stick. So that actually it will weigh less than the amount of thrust that the engine produced, and it will allow two-pack to accelerate going straight up in ballistic flight. Unbelievable power from these GE engines. Now, when he pulls back or throws the stick to the left or the right, he doesn't actually move control linkages. He talks to a computer. Those stick movements put input to a computer which control the flight controls, the elevators, the rudder, and the ailerons. From the left, he's going to slow the aircraft down to about 130 miles per hour, about 1/10 of the Hornet's top speed. He's going to pull the nose up and go into the high alpha pass, or high angle of attack. That angle is the difference between the horizon and the angle the nose is pointed up. These flight control computers allow this aircraft to do what almost no other airplane in the world can do. That actually makes a cloud for a split second. And if we hit if the moisture level, the humidity level is just right, we can see some amazing stuff. And clouds forming all around the aircraft. Now, Two-pack is going to set up for the carrier break. We've talked about this technique where the pilots approach the carrier very fast, a hard bank to the left, and then decelerate to get into the landing configuration. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is your Hornet carrier break. Set up for a touch and go. The aircraft, the moment his wheels and tail hook touch the deck, shoves the throttle forward, because if for some reason that tail hook does not catch one of those 4 wires, he's got to have enough power to go around. Now let's listen carefully. I'm going to turn the music off once again. We can listen to Two-pack as he works those throttles to get right down in position for landing, and then we'll hear him go to full military power and then do a touch and go, and then get up and go. Let's listen. Touchdown. Happy 60th Blue Angels. Those are the Geico Skytypers at 10,000 feet above the ground. The Blue Angels celebrating their 60th anniversary this year, and we'll get to see the Blue Angels fly. How about that from the Geico Skytypers? If you got your cameras ready, from the left, Lieutenant Dustin Two-pack Lee coming by in the Navy's A-18C Legacy. This aircraft. They are the unsung heroes of naval aviation. You can see the landing light, ever so bright. And Lieutenant Lee is just about ready to touch down. Watch him come down over the numbers, and he'll take it a little easy as he touches down. The Hornet has a history that dates back to the early 1970s, when the United States Air Force was looking for a lightweight fighter. In the competition was the Northrop Corporation with a YF-17. The other competitor was General Dynamics with the YF-16 Fighting Falcon. Well, the 16 won it, but the Navy came back to Grumman a little bit, to Northrop Grumman later on, and said, what about that design of that little YF-17? And they adapted it for Navy carrier use, and that's the Hornet you see today. How about a nice round of applause for Lieutenant Dustin Two-pack Lee, carrier pilot extraordinaire and demonstrator for your United States Navy's F-A-18 Hornets. Well, I tell you, we're going to move it right along. As Dustin comes in with his speed brake up saying, I love you, Oceana, I want you to look now to your right, because we've got some more smoke coming out of something over there. And it looks like it ain't over yet. Coming right in front of us, the two GE F-404 jet engines of the Navy's Hornet. Down to the right, the smoke, the noise, and one of the most unusual sights you will ever see at an air show. Ken Shockley in the Shockwave jet-powered truck. Here comes Tupac.